Okay, this is going to be it. This one is going to be the intro. Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 16 of the NFL season. Let's get you into the next round of the playoffs. Come on. This is brought to you by our friends at PrizePicks, the best place to play daily fantasy in pretty much any sport imaginable, from the NFL to the NBA to League of Legends. You are given a line for either a player or teams. For example, you can do fantasy defenses if you want, and have to choose whether the player will hit more or less on that line. One of my favorite picks this week is actually on Thursday Night Football with Trevor Lawrence at 218.5 passing yards. I am going over that. He already hit this 10 times this season, and he is heating up and really showing us why we were so hyped for him coming out of college. Sign up with the promo code NERDS to double your deposit up to $100. Okay, so our first start set is Trevor Lawrence versus the Jets or Jared Goff versus the Carolina Panthers. So Lions are really fun to watch right now, but I'm worried a little bit about the dogs in Carolina's defense. I am picking Trevor Lawrence. I think he can get it done through the air, but I also think he can get it done through his legs. Okay, so the next one is Najee Harris versus the Raiders or Zay Jones versus the Jets. I am picking both of them. What I mean by that is if I am a projected winner and I just need that kind of projected point total, I am going to Najee Harris's route. I think he'll get you pretty safely that 10 to 15 point range. Maybe more, but I think this year that Steelers offense is kind of limited. But if I am a underdog, I am going to play Zay Jones because I need that big boom week. The reason why I'm not playing Zay Jones, though, if I am projected to win, is 2 or 3 weeks ago, Zay Jones played against the Lions, which is supposed to be a great defense for wide receivers to play against. Let me finish that sentence. He put up 2.5 points. So that is on the range of outcome for Zay Jones. The other 3 weeks, though, he put up over 18 points. Okay, so the next question is DeVonta Smith versus the Cowboys or Michael Pittman versus the Chargers. So this was asked definitely before the Matt Ryan news came out about Nick Foles coming in, I assume. But I am picking DeVonta Smith. I am not only picking DeVonta Smith, though, I am happy about it because I think that Gardner Minshew is a good quarterback. He has been in the system for 2 years now. And I think if anything, this Eagles offense will actually pass a little bit more. And DeVonta Smith seen secondary coverage with A.J. Brown probably taking Trayvon Diggs. I think he is not only a good play, I think he's a great play this week. The last one is, do you bench Olave for either Gallup versus the Eagles, Algier versus the Ravens, or Ayuk versus Washington? I am sticking with Olave because he probably helped get you to the playoffs. He's the most talented player on this list. Even though I am worried about the weather, I still think he'll see enough volume in that offense to get it done. Okay, so our trade question today is 12-team Superflex PPR, looking to move one of the following for a wide receiver, tight end, or quarterback. Which one would you trade away? You got Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall, Javonte Williams, and Kenneth Walker. So I have two answers to this. If you are trying to trade for a piece to contend right now, if you're in a league that allows you to trade during the playoffs, I am trading away Javonte Williams because I am the most worried about his value long term, even though I'm not really that worried. But also, I think you can still get good value for him if you trade him to the right manager. If I am trading for the future, though, I'm actually trading away Kenneth Walker. I have heard a lot of murmurings about him being a top 5, top 3, top 2 dynasty running back. And usually when players hit that, when people start talking about them in that way, that is the time to sell them. But honestly, I am not looking to move any of these running backs until later on in the offseason, because usually the value of running backs rise when the veteran running backs that everyone thinks that they have get replaced by draft picks or by free agents. So I would personally hold on to these four until closer into the offseason. The first Discord question today is, what are some deep roster stashes to get heading into next year? League is super flex with 23-man rosters. I will give you one answer because we will be doing so much more content on this during the offseason. But my favorite stash right now is Dyami Brown. He is a wide receiver on the Commanders. If you don't know who he is, he's wide receiver 4 on that team. He has shown that he can be a deep threat, and he has actually had a couple pretty impressive catches this year. The issue is the Washington offense right now just doesn't throw the ball down the field. But with Sam Howell potentially waiting in the wings to take over that quarterback job, his favorite target in college was Dyami Brown. I think that he could actually have some sneaky dynasty upside. The last Discord question for today is, what is the best approach for a middle-of-the-road team eliminated in the first round of the playoffs to get a competing roster? Is it smart to sell decent pieces like Pittman, Godwin, etc. for picks, knowing that they will be more stable assets in the offseason, or rather stay put and wait? So I have 3 things that I usually go by when I'm in a middle-of-the-road roster. Number 1, it is very, very important to know how far away you are from competing. Are you 1 piece away from competing? Are you 3 pieces away from competing? Are you the whole wide receiver core away from competing? That will help you understand what the next step is. Number 2 is actually being patient and waiting to trade your players until they're close to their peak value. So what I mean by that is, if, for example, Kyler Murray. If Kyler Murray is on your roster, I am waiting to trade him away. I am not looking to trade him away right now because his value is at the lowest it's honestly ever been. But right now, let's say 3 weeks ago with Kenneth Walker, people were talking about him being the RB2 overall in Dynasty. And usually when someone's being talked about the running back 2 in Dynasty, that is close to their peak value. So if I'm a middle of the road roster, I am looking to figure out when is the best time to trade my peak value players for just a lot of value and just maybe some picks, maybe even a slight downgrade, but in the same tier, plus something else if I need depth. But that is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to force trades fast. I want to be patient and to look for value. Number 3, it's kind of simple with Dynasty, but draft well. And what I mean by simple is like the concept itself is simple. We have rookie drafts every year. But use tools like our film room, listen to the Dynasty Nerds podcast, all this stuff, the nerd scores. Get those values in the second and third round that we talk about, but also make sure you hit on your first round picks, because it's amazing how fast a hit on your first round pick can turn your team right around into a competing team. Okay, so I want to keep this video kind of short, as short as I can make it. So that's going to be it for this week. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Retweet this if you want to, if you're on Twitter or just anywhere. But side note, really fast. We are currently doing a holiday sale for 25% off our memberships. So that includes the GM, that includes the Nerd Herd. So with the Dynasty GM, you get access to our league analyzer, you get access to our trade calculator, you get access to trending trades and our trade browser and so much more. And also with the Nerd Herd, you get access to an extra episode of the podcast per week, and the film room and the nerd score, and there's a lot of value there too. But right now we are doing a 25% off sale, which is the largest that we do ever. So right now use promo code HOLIDAY25, all lower caps, to get 25% off. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and I hope you advance to the next round.